Aurora and Arthur Petrova, Pancakes, Faux Parched Throats and Anarchy at Bedtime. The clocks have struck 18:30 on a Tuesday cold and gray, at number 18 Harroway in Great Badow far away. The 7th of November, 2017, is here, a night of borrowed time that brings a sense of looming fear. For the landlords selling up the house, their sanctuary is thin, while outside, the black BMW shows a polished, metallic grin. Patar stands beside the car, his blue glasses catching light as the biting Essex wind begins to whistle through the night. Inside, the walls are heavy with the Balkan ornaments of old, where wooden saints and copper plates tell stories yet untold. But the atmosphere is frigid, for the house is soon to go, a borrowed bit of Essex that the Petrovas now know. Maria smooths her orange sleeves to hide the scars she bears, while her husband, Petar, mumbles Bulgarian words and prayers. "Kakvo pravish?" he asks the air, his voice a gravelly tone, as the family feels the weight of things they no longer truly own. Aurora, nearly 12 and tall, with pink glasses on her nose, decides to cook a feast to soothe her many growing woes. Her long hair's in a ponytail, secured with neon clips, as she marches to the kitchen with a scowl upon her lips. Sasha watches from the door, her eyes both tired and kind, observing all the plans that swirl within Aurora's mind. "I'm making pancakes, Auntie," Aurora shouts with pride, her loquacious nature bubbling from a spirit deep inside. She grabs a Tesco blender, a machine of plastic white, to mix a batter thick enough to last throughout the night. Whirr goes the motor, an onomatopoeic roar, as Aurora drops the flour and the milk upon the floor. The blender screams in protest, a personified complaint, but Aurora's focus lingers with the patience of a saint. She pours in heaps of spices, a fragrant, dusty cloud, while the kitchen air grows heavy and the motor grows more loud. Cinnamon and nutmeg, with a ginger-scented zest, Aurora's spice concoction is put to a frantic test. Sasha watches carefully as the powders start to fly. "It's a bit much in it, darling?" she asks with a heavy sigh. But Aurora doesn't listen. She is busy and ecstatic. Her movements in the kitchen are remarkably dramatic. She's giving it some proper welly, mixing batter in a blur, while the ginger tabby Kiev begins to watch and purr. Arthur wanders in the room, his green glasses all aglow. He's nearly 10 and hungry for the treats his sister might bestow. His short hair is a messy tuft, his eyes are wide and bright as he smells the spicy pancakes in the middle of the night. "Can I have a taste, Aurora?" Just a tiny little lick, but Aurora turns upon him, her reaction sharp and quick. "Mlukni, shut up," she bellows. "You're a nuisance and a pest." Arthur's lip begins to quiver as his sister's rage descends. He thought that they were family. He thought that they were friends. "You're proper mean," he whimpers as the tears begin to pool behind his green-rimmed glasses like a tiny, tragic fool. Aurora ignores his crying. She has pancakes to prepare, a metaphor for selfishness that hangs within the air. She flips the first one in the pan with a sizzling, sibilant sound, while Arthur's heavy heart begins to sink toward the ground. Sasha sees the conflict, and she steps into the fray. "Arthur, go on, love," she says, "and wipe those tears away." She leads the sobbing boy towards the hallway's dimming light to find a place of quiet in the chaos of the night. Aurora keeps on cooking, 12 pancakes in a stack, like golden spiced-up soldiers ready for a sweet attack. The smell is quite delicious, an oxymoron of the mood, as the angry little chef prepares her mountains of rich food. Billy enters slowly, looking tired and quite worn to see the kitchen counter where the pancake feast was born. He's 50 and a half today, a man of quiet grace, who finds the Essex winter quite a bitter, lonely place. "All right, Aurora?" he asks, his voice a steady hum, as he eyes the spicy batter and the piles of pancake crumb. Aurora just ignores him. She is focused on her goal, to feed the empty hunger of her greedy little soul. Maria joins the circle. In her orange-tinted style, she tries to greet her daughter with a weary Balkan smile. But Petar follows closely, his blue glasses on his face, his sternness like a shadow cast across the dining space. "Sit down," he commands them, in a voice as hard as stone, a simile of power that he uses as his own. The family sits together in the house they soon must leave, with secrets in their pockets and the sorrow in their sleeve. Aurora grabs the sugar jar and pours a snowy white, a mountain of sweet crystals in the dim November light. It's hyperbole in motion, a sugary excess that leaves the kitchen table in a sticky Swedish mess. Arthur watches enviously. His eyes are fixed and wide, while his sister heaps the chocolate sauce and syrup on the side. "That's too much," cries Maria. "It's detrimental to your teeth." But Aurora hides her mischief with the sugary mask beneath. "Stiga, enough," Petar thunders, and he snatches up her plate. "You shall not eat this mountain in your current greedy state." He scrapes away the toppings with a stern and focused hand, the most infuriated father in the great Badau land. Aurora's face contorts in rage, her eyes begin to leak, as crocodile tears start rolling down her rosy, rounded cheek. "You're ruining my dinner," she screams with all her might, exacerbating tempers in the middle of the night. Maria tries to calm her, but the girl is quite incensed. Her fury at her father is entirely undispensed. Sasha watches from the corner. Billy shakes his weary head as the sweet Petrova pancake feast turns bitter now instead. "It's just some sugar, Petar," Maria whispers low, but Petar's anger is a fire that's beginning now to grow. The Balkan house is echoing with shouts and heavy sighs, while the rain against the window reflects the family's cries. Kiev, the ginger tabby, sits upon a wooden chair, with a look of formal judgment and a very regal air. "A most uncivilized display," he purrs in English grand. "One rarely sees such anarchy across this Essex land." Aurora glares at Kiev. Then she looks toward the floor, where Harlow the Dalmatian is trotting through the door. The dog is slim and spotted, with a tail that wags with glee, a contrast to the family and their mounting misery. Aurora takes a pancake, dripping thick with golden oil, and tries to give it to the dog, the carpet soon to spoil. "Here, Harlow," she whispers, with a sneaky sideways glance, but she doesn't stand a ghost of a tiny little chance. For Harlow is a lady, and she speaks with formal tone. "I'd rather have a biscuit, dear, or perhaps a marrow bone." The dog looks at the pancake with a sniff of high disdain, as the Essex wind outside begins to beat against the pane. Maria spots the movement and she lets out a sharp cry. "Aurora, do not feed the dog! You know the reason why." She grabs the greasy pancake and she tosses it away. As the borrowed time, Petrovas face the ending of the day. Harlow trots to Maria, and she nudges at her hand, the most obedient creature in all the Essex land. "Quite right," the dog remarks aloud, though only she can hear. "That spicy sugared dough would surely cost me very dear." "I want a baby-born doll," Aurora suddenly demands. "The one that drinks and cries and has those tiny plastic hands." She looks at Petar hopefully, her anger pushed aside, but her father's stern expression shows he hasn't changed his mind. "No dolls tonight, Aurora," he says with icy breath. "Your greed today has bored me nearly halfway unto death." Aurora's face turns purple. She is truly quite infuriated, as her dream of plastic babies is abruptly terminated. She decides to change her tactic. She begins to cough and wheeze. "My throat is parched and burning. Oh, help me, Father, please." She clutches at her neck as if her life is at an end, a faux and parched performance that she hopes will soon transcend. Sasha watches skeptically. She knows the girl is fine. It's just another piece of the Aurora grand design. The pathetic fallacy of rain begins to drum and beat, as the girl's dramatic acting makes her plan almost complete. "I need some medicine," she croaks, "the sweet and syrupy kind." But Petar isn't fooled by what is lurking in her mind. He stands up from the table, and he walks toward his girl, while his blue glasses catch the kitchen in a dizzy, dusty swirl. "Open up," he tells her, with a look of sharp insight. "Let's see this burning throat of yours in the kitchen's yellow light." Aurora opens wide her mouth, a cavern dark and deep, while the secrets of her trickery she tries her best to keep. "There's nothing wrong," says Petar with a satisfied cold smirk. "Your parched and burning throat is just a piece of lazy work." He turns to Sasha, nodding, as the ant begins to grin at the way Aurora's little lie has ended in a spin. "Off to bed," he thunders, and the words are like a gong, for the night at Haraway has been remarkably too long. Billy sighs in relief as he heads toward the hall, while the shadows of the Balkan home begin to climb the wall. But bedtime is a battlefield, a place of pure unrest, as Aurora puts the household to a final, frantic test. She and Arthur share a room, but she wants the bed alone, claiming every pillow as a kingdom of her own. "Get out," she shrieks at Arthur. "This bed is only mine," as she pushes him away from the imaginary line. Arthur starts to wail again, his green glasses on the floor, as the anarchy of bedtime starts to spill out through the door. Mariha rushes up the stairs, her buns are coming loose, to find her youngest son subject to his sister's foul abuse. "Aurora, be a sister. Share the bed and be a friend." But the girl's chaotic temper shows no signs of an end. She's being proper selfish, like a queen upon a throne, leaving poor young Arthur to feel cold and all alone. The cacophony of crying starts to wake the quiet street, as the Petrova bedtime drama reaches levels quite elite. Petar enters finally, his patience at an end. He has no more kindness or forgiveness left to lend. He grabs Aurora's pillows, and he throws them on the rug. "No more of this," he bellows, giving Arthur's arm a tug. Aurora kicks her legs and screams, a siren in the night, as she fights against the darkness, and she fights against the light. The house at Haraway is shaking with the noise she makes, as the heavy, Balkan heart of the Petrova family breaks. Sasha and Billy stand below, they listen to the sound, as the Tuesday night of anarchy is finally, truly found. The neighbors turn their lights on, wondering what the fuss could be, as the Petrovas are drowning in a stormy, salty sea. "Borrowed time is ending," Sasha whispers with a sigh, as the clouds of Great Badow start to weep across the sky. The pancakes are forgotten, and the baby born is gone, while the battle of the Petrovas goes on and on and on. Kiev and Harlow sit together on the rug below, watching as the house's lights begin to dim and glow. A most exhausting evening, Kiev purrs with heavy eyes. The human thirst for drama is a thing that never dies. Harlow nods her spotted head. "Indeed, my feline friend, I'm glad this Tuesday anarchy has reached a messy end." The black BMW is silent in the biting Essex air, while number 18 Haraway holds all their dark despair.